told you we would be making an announcement, and so Tim's going to help me do that and actually share from the elders' perspective on some things. So the announcement we wanted to make is that we are officially, beginning today, moving into a season of transition to find our next lead minister. Now, let me explain a little bit about that from a personal place. As many of you know, I was away full-time for a season, and then last fall, the elders asked me if I would come back full-time and be a part of the staff in a full-time leading again as the lead minister. And I'll just be honest, I was very reluctant when I was asked to do that. And the biggest reason, really the main reason that I was reluctant is because I didn't have the confidence that I would be able to do the job with the health crisis that we were going through at a personal level with my wife's declining health issues. And so I didn't want to come back because I was pretty sure that I wouldn't be able to stay back very long because of just my role to my family and to my wife. And so I was very hesitant, but I'll be honest with you, I had prayed specific prayers for a season, and I realized that the call for me to come back was God's call on my life to come back, even though I was reluctant to do it because of the way I prayed. Here's the thing about prayer. If you pray specific prayers and then God opens that door and you don't step through it, then I think that's disobedience. And so I came back because God opened that door because I felt I would be disobedient to come back. But I was afraid that coming back, I wouldn't be able to stay very long, and then the church would turn around and have to go right back through another preacher search. Well, it turns out that I was right about one thing and wrong about another. I was right. In June, I approached the eldership, and I said, guys, I just can't continue to do this. The leadership mantle, being a lead minister here at any church, but at our church too, being in the leadership role, the mantle's heavy. And caregiving to my wife is also heavy. And I can't carry the weight of both of those. Does that make sense? And so it is important for us now to plan to get the next person who's going to be in my seat here, because this church needs someone who will lead them, who can give them 100%. And I'm just not able to continue to do that. And so we're entering into this season, and we contacted Dr. Gary Johnson. I already mentioned him, and he's been working with us to help put a transition plan in place. And I guess I'm going to turn it over to Tim to kind of speak from the elders' side of it and to kind of tell us about some of the things, Tim, that we're going to be doing as we go through this process.
Well, Doug says nothing comes as a surprise for God. And we've been dealing with this for 9 months now. It was unanimous that he came back by the eldership. We were just so thrilled. And we knew that it was going to bring some unity. And so a lot has happened in those 9 months. We've come a long way. We've started this discipleship emphasis within our church. We've added to our staff. We've, I believe, become united. We've cast a church vision and all that goes with it that's going to be announced in the next few weeks. I think we've healed from past events, all while hopefully building your trust in us as a leadership. And all the while, Doug's been honest with us, telling us he didn't know how long he'd be able to be with us. We'd hoped for, at the beginning, 3 to 5 years even. And we thought it was down the road. We never had to think about it. But Doug kept reminding us. He told us month after month that a difficult time he was having balancing his home life with his church life and the responsibilities in each. So several months ago, we asked Dr. Gary Johnson of E2 Ministries to consult with us about making a transition to a new minister in the healthiest and most effective way possible. He aided us in developing what we called the transition plan that would span about 18 months, including searching for a new minister. And we were kind of at rest in that. And then we realized that it wasn't going to work that way. We thought we'd have time to search for a guy and acclimate a guy with Doug's guidance, and it just wasn't happening. Doug realized, he kept telling us that it just wasn't going to happen in the same time frame. He wasn't going to be able to stay as long as he had hoped. So we began praying for him. We prayed for our church body as to what to do. So today we come before you to let you know we have made a transition agreement with Doug that allows him to phase out of ministry here and to pursue doing something that's less demanding on him. We've begun searching for a new senior minister, and when he arrives, Doug is willing to stay at least for a season with him to help him in a period of transition. When we get together to pray and plan, it's obvious that this decision has been hard for Doug, and yet we're really thankful that he has been here to help us through this season to prepare for the next. We understand that he needs to care for his family. It's been very clear that he loves the Lord, and he loves what's best for the church, both now and going forward. We've appreciated his trust in the Lord outlook, and we too will continue to walk in faith. As the elders look at several candidates over the next few weeks, we covet your prayers as we search for the next person to fill the pulpit and to guide the staff and to cast the vision for Spencer in the coming years. Doug will be in our prayers as he seeks a new direction for his ministry. And so I genuinely ask Doug now, what's next for you?
Well, so I'm not old enough to retire yet. I'm getting there. I'm doing my best to get there, but I'm not there yet. And so I will be engaging in what I hope to be ministry work, probably in what's known as a parachurch organization. That's a ministry that is supported by churches to help promote the gospel. I've been in conversations with some, and so I will eventually start to move into a role with another ministry, and I'll probably start doing that here within the next few weeks, slowly as we move closer to that and as we make final decisions. But I do plan to ride shotgun through this transition and to help the new lead minister out in any way possible. The one thing that I was wrong about, I was right about when I was my fear of coming back. I wouldn't be able to stay very long. But the one thing I was wrong about, and Tim alluded to this, is I do believe there was a purpose for me to be here this past year. It'll be a year or more by the time we find someone. And I do believe that there was a purpose for me to be here. I just didn't see it or recognize it initially, and may not still yet fully understand. But for such a time as this, I believe I was supposed to be here in 2022. And I believe that my job is to help prepare for the next lead minister. And so that's what I'll be doing. My role will diminish as we go over the next few weeks. I will decrease, and then we'll be bringing someone else on who will increase and who will lead the church. So there's some things that we're doing that you guys need to know about. Can I go ahead and tell them,
Sure.
Tim? Some things that we're doing, you guys need to know about. We just officially opened. We're officially making this announcement. We are officially searching for the new next lead minister of the church here. In weeks to come, there will be interviews and conversations with candidates, and so we ask that you pray about that. So what we're asking the church to do is we're setting aside Mondays, starting tomorrow, as a day of prayer and fasting here at Spencer. So we ask you. We ask that you pray about this process and about the future of the church and what God is doing, and we call you to fast as well, to set something aside as you're praying, a season of fasting, whether it's setting aside food or what else it may be, but a time of fasting as we lock in every Monday as a church family to pray together. So I'm going to ask if you'd raise your hand if you're willing to make a commitment to pray for us on Mondays. I hope you'll pray more than just Mondays, but Mondays as a set-aside day for prayer and fasting, because we don't want to enter into this process without the Holy Spirit's guidance, right? And so we can't just talk about being faithful. We've also got to pray, and that's a part of being faithful. So we'll be doing that every Monday. We'll send out reminders and stuff that it's the day of prayer and fasting for this transition process. Another thing we're going to do is on the fourth Sunday of every month, man, we're really over time. On the fourth Sunday of every month, in the afternoons, probably around 5 o'clock or so, we're going to have what we call Pie, Prayer, and Progress. And what it is, we're going to gather for pie, and we're going to pray corporately together, but we'll also give a progress report once a month on Sunday afternoons so that you kind of know what's going on in the search process, okay? Some weeks there may not be a lot, some months there may not be a lot to report. We hope there is a lot to report every month. But we are committed to having an informational meeting every fourth Sunday. So just go ahead and mark your calendar if you want to be in on those meetings, that you'll come on the fourth Sundays and be a part of that. And plus, you'll get a piece of pie or some kind of dessert as a consolation prize for coming out. And so we're going to be doing that so that you guys are informed.